Hi, how are y'all doing? So deciding who to elect to office isn't the simplest task. Oftentimes, choosing between candidates is a lot like a trick question on a test. While some candidates you can immediately cross off, multiple candidates can appear to be the correct answer. However, there is only one candidate that is always just a little bit better than the others. Tonight, I'd like to speak to you about why Mitt Romney could be that candidate for you. Now, I'm not demanding that you vote for Mitt Romney, and I know that Mitt Romney on this campus is kind of a foul word to say, but there is no harm in at least knowing his campaign policies. So, I would like to start off with you with probably the most controversial of his campaign policies, which is his stance on marriage and abortion. I believe it's hard, especially in terms of morality, to have one single right answer when there are so many passionate opinions out there. And most of us in this room, including myself, do believe in gay rights. However, Governor Romney has clearly stated that he believes marriage is between one man and one woman. As well, Romney has thoroughly expressed that his belief that abortion should be illegal, except in the cases of rape, incest, or when the mother's health is endangered. Now, many of you don't agree with Romney on this stance, but I urge you to not just discount him because of it, because our government's future is not dependent on one person's opinion, and we have a system of checks and balances to ensure that this doesn't happen. If you were to ask me to sum up the sentiment of the Romney campaign in one sentence, I would use the quote by Ronald Reagan that government is not the solution, government is the problem. This reflects the Romney campaign because Romney seeks to create a smaller, simpler, smarter government. On multiple issues, including healthcare and Medicare, Romney wants to give the power to the states to devise their own plan that would be supported by the federal government, including having the individual states create their own legislation means less compromise and more proficient laws. You wouldn't go to an oncologist to treat your heart problems, so why have the federal government dictate legislation that the state government can do more efficiently? Further, Romney seeks to loosen government regulation on the economy. If we let businessmen do what businessmen do best without infringing on their affairs, the economy will prosper. In the United States, we have one of the highest corporate tax rates at 35%. However, Romney is suggesting that we cut it down to 25%. This will persuade corporations to invest and grow their businesses in America versus the foreign countries. As well, Romney plans to switch to a territorial tax system, which will equalize businesses across America. The most beneficial of Romney's tax cuts will be an overall tax cut by 20%. The implementation of Romney's economic policies will result in the growth of the economy. Results may not be immediate, but Romney aspires to build an economy that will sustain a prospering middle class. In foreign policy, the Romney administration seeks to preserve America in global terms. Our military has seen a growth in soldiers, however, we're still relying on the same machinery from wars before. Romney plans on rebuilding our military, including replacing aging inventory and restructuring the core of the military. Romney strongly believes that America is the world's ally and needs to be strong not only for our safety but for international safety. Probably one of the most important issues concerning us is education. Romney wants to allow Title I funds to become portable, along with allowing more flexibilities in the school that students can and cannot attend. This will allow children from disadvantaged areas to receive a better education. Romney plans on reforming No Child Left Behind in order to promote more responsibility among schools to show results. In terms of higher education, Romney seeks to find more funding for our public universities by allowing private sector involvement. He also plans on strengthening and reforming the financial aid system in order to provide students with more money and better loans that can be easily paid back. Overall, as a presidential candidate, I feel Romney has some great ideas. I do believe that we need to decentralize our government and give the states more power. I also feel that his economic policies will be effective in the long term. However, I do not support his beliefs regarding marriage or foreign policy. Although I am a Republican, I do not feel that Mitt Romney is the president that I want to represent our nation. I would like to leave you guys off with this final thought, that voting in elections isn't merely about voting with your party, but making an informed decision. Thank you very much.
There are a lot of eyes here tonight, so I appreciate that. I should begin by saying that I'm a registered Republican, but I consider myself to be an independent. I don't feel that either party represents my views. So the most important issue to me is the environment and energy, because without the health of our ecosystem, we have nothing. I don't know about you, but I've only got one planet to pick from. So Romney is in favor of the Keystone XL pipeline. That was a big deal. According to the National Resources Defense Council, quote, if the United States were to import 3 million barrels per day of tar sands oil, it could offset all the emissions gains projected by the EPA under the Renewable Fuel Standard by 2022, end quote. This would be the equivalent of adding 22 million cars to the road. I mean, to solve this problem, we're going to need to do 3 things. We're going to need to be more efficient, we're going to need to reduce our driving, and we're going to need to use cleaner fuels. But this is something that the Keystone XL pipeline will not do, because it is going to increase our dependency on oil. On a similar note, Mitt Romney wants to continue $4 billion in oil subsidies for companies that are already making record profits. Mitt Romney also wants to increase offshore drilling, even after the Deepwater Horizon oil spill. Similarly, Romney also does not want to invest in renewable energy. He's continuously derided Obama for supporting Solyndra, despite the fact that the Department of Energy initially started the idea for the loan program in 2005 during the Bush administration. But we should be fair and note that this was not approved until Obama came into office. From 2008 to 2012, since Obama has come into office, both wind and solar energy production has been increased almost doubly. Also, what is important to me is education, because like almost all of you in this room, I'm working on my college degree. I'm not getting any aid, but I come from a wealthy family, but not everybody is so fortunate as I am. To give you some comparison between the two candidates, Obama says, quote, higher education can't be a luxury, it's an imperative, end quote. Whereas Romney says, quote, shop around, get a good price, and don't expect the government to forgive the debt you take on, end quote. Now, I don't know about you, but I feel like the choice is pretty clear right there. Obama has also capped repayments on federal student loans to 10% of one's income. Obama also established the American Opportunity Tax Credit and doubled funding for Pell Grants to help students pay for college. Mitt Romney also believes that class size is, quote, not relevant, end quote, to students' ability to learn. Mitt Romney would also reverse the student loan reforms enacted by Obama. In terms